Hello dear twin flames, divine lovers. This is the reading for the first week of April, from for the first week of May, from 1st May to 7th. And before I start, I would like to thank you all who subscribe, who comment, who send me the messages. They are very inspiring and motivating. Thank you very much for all your love. And this is the general reading, of course, and if you want something more personalized, there is information in the description box how to reach me. And I will be using the spread that I started using when I started doing the videos on YouTube. This is my own design spread. Here is the masculine, here is the feminine. And yeah, I think I will start now. As an overall energy here for this coming week, we have 12 wands, and I think that it has a little bit different meaning for the masculine and a little bit different for the feminine. For the masculine, I feel that due to all his insights that he had, and all the inside work and connecting to his intuition and imagination, he gained a lot of insight on who he is and what are his monsters and what are his demons, what are his obstacles in love. And he's gaining a lot of clarity about that. He's becoming more and more mature emotionally, and more ready for this divine connection. And I feel that he's no longer so much in the grasps of what other people expect him to be, and what other people expect him to, the way, he's no longer interested in living the way that other people are expecting him to live. That he's becoming more emotionally independent. There was a lot of I feel that there was a lot of sorry, I'm trying to put the music on, but for some reason it's not playing. Okay. He's freeing himself in his mind. I mean, now he has this energy here of 10 of Swords, and this is like 10s are generally the endings of certain cycles. In this case, it would be maybe coming to an end of the period of time where masculine was had this tendency to be caught up in thinking too much and overthinking and analyzing things, and being too much in his mind. here is this very, very helpful energy of Page of Cups, and this is energy that works for the union, for the masculine and the feminine alike. I mean, it's like a beginning of emotional connection, like before. The connection between you know, with some of you, of course, not with everybody. It's not gonna resonate with everybody, but with some of you, this emotional connection wasn't there yet, and it's starting to grow. And I think that because masculine is living this very mental space, he's more connecting to his emotions, he's facing his demons and fears, and he's moving more into his heart space, and he's elevating himself. He's also more ready to rush to the world and conquer it, to take responsibility in his own hands. And he doesn't want to be a victim anymore of circumstances, or he doesn't want to live in a way that other people may expect him to live, and he's just breaking up with all these expectations and moving in circles with certain things, and he's really breaking up loose, I would say, and rushing to the world to live on his own. And there is also, with this emotional maturity, let's say, with this process of emotional maturity, comes ability to manifest, because once he starts living more in his heart, he's leaving this space of head and moving more into his heart space. He's more able to live out, you know, in authenticity, and he's more able to manifest. He's more able to get his wishes fulfilled and to live in the way he wants to live. And with the feminine, there is a lot going on here, and I feel that feminine really wants connection very, very much, and she's at this point that she's been working on this love. She's been like doing a lot of work on this journey, but because this is a really like emotional beginning and very, very start to this like connection in emotional sense, it's really sensitive, and it's very important for the feminine to be very watchful about the steps that she's taking, that she needs to remember to be in her heart. And last week we had this card that was saying about amplifying positive emotions, and it's very important here as well, because I feel that because of this need for connection, this very strong need for connection from the feminine, she may be, because there is this energy. Four of Wands, and Four of Wands usually says about being celebration, about like holiday and really festive time, joy and happiness. But what I feel here is that there is this hasty energy in the feminine, that she wants to rush forward and she wants to get things now. There may be something around feminine, something really tempting, but it may not be what it looks like. It may be something that looks sweet and nice, but may not be really available yet. So it's really important to really, instead of rushing forward, be a little bit careful. And I feel that the feminine has a lot of power now. There is the Magician card, which is the manifestation card, and I feel that the feminine has a lot of power now. She has the power also to free herself and free other people as well. But she may not necessarily, because of this hasty movement, because of that she wants connection right now, and at the moment she may be a little bit impatient, and she may be looking for something else outside of the union. And this was energy that was showing up before as well. There is the need for being careful in order that no one gets hurt, that what has been built, it's not gonna be damaged, because this is just House of Cards. As I said, it's very sensitive construction. It's very fragile, and one false step may destroy everything. And feminine may be now tempted by different situations, maybe different people. There can be also some of you may be in the situation that you are in some karmic connections now, and it may be time that you have the power now to free yourself from that, and to free the other person. It's also important that to know that when you have power, with the power there also comes responsibility, because well, it's very often that when there is a power, there can be also abuse of its power, and so I think that for the feminine she needs to be a little bit careful about what does she do with this power, and we know that power in wrong hands can really cause a lot of damage. And I know that some imbalances that may appear in the readings from time to time, they are due to, because there is a lot of work and balancing work on both sides, on masculine and feminine, and this energies are flowing from sometimes from one sorry, counterpart to the other. And there can be times that there is a lot of confusion and we may feel a little bit lost, and there is really need to really balance yourself, to really always center yourself to where you belong, to your heart, to the space of love, because when there is a lot of things going on, and there is always, and when you get step closer to your goal, there can be different temptations and triggers and different tests, and it's always, from my experience, it's always like that, when you get to another level of some growth or achievement, then there is, there is this testing period, whether you're really able to stay on this level or whether you're able to move forward. And with that, if it's side, that she has this power, and sometimes she's not able to use this power properly. And it's really important to be very watchful and very careful with what we're doing with this power, to avoid disaster. Yeah, because well, it's a huge responsibility to to work in our life so that no one gets hurt, and everything is kept in balance. It's not easy. We always in life actually, come across at some point of the situation that we need to take responsibility for our actions, as the masculine is doing now, that he's facing his demons and his fears, fears of connection, or of losing freedom or anything like that. It really it's different with different people. But I think that masculine is freeing himself from this kind of thinking, and he's going more into space of his heart, with full awareness. That's what I want to say, is that he faces more and more. He goes deeper and deeper. He was doing this last week. There were these energies of hangman and going within and taking a break, withdrawing yourself a little bit. And that's what we can see now, is that it was probably to face some some things that were blocking him emotionally, and keeping him in some cycles, repeating some mistakes and some cycles in his life that were not really allowing him to grow. I will also draw one card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Let's see what it's gonna tell us. Yeah, so the energies are very serious energies on the feminine side. Masculine is yes, it's doing some cleansing and introspection, and these are the things that are allowing him to also come to the space of manifestation, in which the feminine is very strong at the moment. She has a really huge power, and it's very important that she uses this power in a very careful way, a loving way, and not to, trying not to manipulate anything or anyone, but being very conscious about it. Okay. And the card that is showing up here is the Sacred Fool. I will read the message. It's card number 40. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it's what it is. This oracle heralds time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate, don't try to be socially acceptable, and worry about what others may think about what you're doing, just be. If you want to wear a mud hat while doing so, fine. The Sacred Fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The Sacred Fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it's cajoled into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the Sacred Fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heart strings, not into fear and doubt, but by the controlling machines of mass media. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. That is okay. That is good, actually. It is a sign that you're breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It's the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The Sacred Fool goes with this without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way or for them or even the best way. At first they may react rather than take responsibility. The Sacred Fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you're right on course. You may feel that you are quite possibly going insane, but you are not crazy. You're just approaching enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes a rather long one, when we wake up to life, shed our attachment to mass opinion, and float in a completely different state of being. We might find that no one is really able to understand or connect with us, to the point that we question our state of mind. Stay with that, it will pass. You will eventually see that you are becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain greater inner freedom and creative juice. Stay on your path, stay on the journey, remember to take nothing too seriously, and it will all work out perfectly. And the healing process is, say, I call on the sacred force of unconditional love. Please help me access your lightness of spirit, your wisdom, and your ability to exist in the heart of truth, to be more powerful without becoming attached or obsessed by power. I honor your vision. May I see and know so truly and be free. I choose of my own free will to give myself absolute permission to just be myself now and always. Through unconditional love, mercy and compassion, so be it. And so I feel that this message is more strongly to the masculine. As I said, he's breaking off the chain of his circumstances so far. He's breaking loose and he's ready to to rush to conquer the world, whether it's a word of emotions or in any other sense. It's like what's important is that he's breaking loose of his way of thinking and his blockages and his demons, things that were not allowing him to express himself fully emotionally. And for the feminine, it's speaking about this need for connection, and this is something that I feel that it's quite quite important for the feminine at the moment. That especially for those of you who are feeling that going through the dark night of the soul, sometimes you may feel that you're very lonely and that you don't have any support, that no one understands you. So it's really important to try to reach out maybe to others, try to find some support, but also try not to stay in this state of in this mood, in this state of being, because I know, for example, that at the moment, even if I go through some tough emotions or some challenging mood swings or something like that, it doesn't take really that long for me to get over it. It's like one day, half of a day, and I'll just I'll just manage to climb out of this hole and to be positive. But sometimes because we are used to be to be victims, you used to be to feel pity toward ourselves. It is challenging to take responsibility for own life, and sometimes even if we are on this path and we are we are quite well managing this, we may have weaker moments and challenging times that we're tired of this, and we just want to get rid of this power, and we just want to we just don't want to be bothered, and we just want to stay in bed all day and do nothing. But it's like it's in our power to change that, of course, and I know you know that. But it doesn't change the fact that sometimes we all may feel sometimes that we need to we would like to just to sleep over all these troubles and tribulations, all that. So I wish you all the best. I may have some break in readings. I don't know that. Recently I don't feel very energetic. It's not easy for me to do this reading, and I will be doing now probably the my reading as well, and maybe after that I will be doing the break. I don't know. Maybe I will come back next week. It depends how I feel. But in the meantime, I would like to wish you all the best. Thank you very much again for all your loving support. It's really, it keeps me going. And I wish you beautiful week, first week of May. And yeah, until next time. Thank you.